Good morning, friends. Hello, good morning. Just tagging a few people. Good morning. When you pop on, say something so I know you're here. Hi, Natalie. I am drinking coffee out of my True Crime BS mug that my Aunt Candy got me. Hi, Jeanette. And on the back it says, it's too early. So this is my favorite podcast. So if you listen to true crime stuff, this is my absolute favorite podcast ever. And start from the beginning and listen to the whole thing. It's amazing. I just caught up with all my episodes yesterday, I think, or the day before. Hello, you joined. Hi. So is it Liette? Is that how you say it? I want to say it properly. And I want to know where you are at. Where in the great country of Canada you are. It is. Okay. Liette, that's such a cool name. I really like it. It's different. Liette. I like that. Okay. So today, now that it is 9 a.m., we're going to get started. Today we're going to use one of the brand new stamp sets from the release. And this is called Rule Your Mind. So I have my die sets back here. I have the little hippo set out so I can die cut the hippo. And so this is the stamp set between Belleville, Ontario, and Ottawa and Toronto. Okay. It's French, so I'm saying it totally wrong and butchering it like any good American would. So this little hippo, drawn by our Sandy Ledoux, oh my God, she's just so cute. And then these little water bottles are here, and then it has all of these really cool sentiments. But you guys know me, and you know that I like to use stamp sets for things that are other than what the stamp set is for. So today, I'm not going to use any of the sentiments, but I'm going to use a sentiment strip. And it says, thank you from the bottom of my heart. So of course I needed to find a heart. And so I found this really fun little heart charm in my stash of metallic things. And it has like the Tree of Life on one side, and it has these rays on the other side. And so I'm not really sure which side I'm going to use yet. I have cut a piece of Sweet Sentiment paper and a cut of, this is Stampin' Up! Paper to mat it. So this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then this is, of course, 4 by 5 1/4. So just smaller than an A2 card, so I can put it on an A2 card base. So Natalie, you know exactly how to say Liette's name without butchering it like I do. So there you go. So we're going to color this sweet little hippo. So what I'm going to do is zoom in for you guys. Liette is going to be carrying our stamps and Sweet Sentiment supplies in her shop in Canada. So any of my Canadian friends, this is big, big news, because you will be able to order all of your Sweet Sentiment stuff from inside the country. Hooray! Which will then save you from shipping. So I'm really, really excited to be working with Liette in the future. And we're working on her first order today. And I just sent you an email and told you about the new release. So you can go check out the new release and see if you want to add any of that to your order before we get to shipping. Okay, so with that being said, this little hippo, I do want to color her gray because I want to give her kind of a colorful background. So we're going to color her in grays. And I feel like the T's never get enough love. So the T's are what's going to happen today. So I'm going to start with T8. I'm going to grab my little marker blend holder so you guys can see. So here's T8, T6, T4, T2, and T0. And I know you can't really see these right now because I'm so far zoomed in, but you will see them. Apparently you have an order for the hippo, Liette. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the corner, but you'll still be able to see the caps. And this is my T8. Now, I've stamped her in Memento Tuxedo Black, and she's stamped on Sweet Sentiment coloring paper. Liette, I highly recommend the Sweet Sentiment coloring paper. I know it's expensive to ship to Canada, but when we're shipping a whole bunch of stuff, it's the best time to do it. And the Sweet Sentiment coloring paper makes all the difference in the world. So we're going to show a couple of cool things about the paper, and we're going to start right now. So for any of you who don't use the Sweet Sentiment coloring paper, before I get started, you can see there's a bit of a shimmer to it, and I hope that the camera picks that up. There's a bit of a shimmer in the paper. It's slightly off-white, and that's for a reason. Number one, it's going to make your coloring pop. And number two, it makes the markers, the marker colors really pop. So you can do the one coat coloring. That also has to do with how the paper is made. Oh, Holly, that's a bummer. So the paper has a special coating. The outside layers are not coated, but the inside layers are. So what that means is I created a paper that you can walk away from and come back to. I am the mom of an autistic child, and he has Asperger's, so he's on the spectrum. It's super high functioning, but sometimes my kid really, really needs me, so I have to walk away from my coloring. And I'm not talking walking away for a couple of seconds or even a couple of minutes. Sometimes it's hours, sometimes it's days. And I can come right back to my coloring rehydrate that, and start working again, just like I never left. And that is so stinking cool and innovative, because we all know that you cannot do that with the Copic Express It paper. The Copic Express It paper is coated on the outside, and so what happens is your ink from your marker pools on top of the paper. And when that happens, you're left, as soon as the alcohol from the marker, from the ink, dissipates or evaporates, you're left with a pool of sticky, icky, ucky, yucky disgustingness. And the more you try to hydrate it, the worse it gets. So, I know I'm coloring off the screen, I'm sorry. Yeah, Liette, if you could post the name of your store. I have lots of Canadians in here, so it will be definitely a big deal. We need to tag Cheryl. Cheryl will be so happy that you are going to be carrying Sweet Sentiment stuff. Where? There she is. So I forgot where I was at, but that's okay. So this paper is truly, truly amazing. It's meant specifically for alcohol ink coloring, so whether you use Copics or any other type of alcohol ink. However, it works great for colored pencils. There's enough texture and tooth to it to make the colored pencils work phenomenally. I love it. Also, ink blending is a freaking breeze on this stuff, you guys. Ink blending blends like butter. And I'm talking like oxide inks and distress inks and all of that kind of stuff. You can watercolor on this paper as long as you're not a pool watercolorist. And if you like to make 3D flowers, let me tell you, there is no better paper than this paper to make 3D flowers with. Holy bejeezers. It can handle getting wet, and then it will actually reconstitute. And so when it gets dry again, yes, Jeanette, sorry, I keep on saying it. I'm so sorry. I'll get it one day or another. I promise. It reconstitutes and makes itself rigid again, which is so amazing. So, again, everybody who has not tried Sweet Sentiment paper, you're going to need to do that. The other thing is a lot of people will say, oh, I practice on this paper and then I use this paper for my final project. So you're Janet. Okay. I'm just making sure because there's another one that's Jeanette. So now I'm like all trigger shy on how to pronounce people's names. So just making sure it's all good. And y'all know my name's all messed up. So I try to be sensitive towards the pronunciation of people's names. So, anyways, you don't practice baseball to get better at soccer, right? So why would you practice on a different paper than what you're going to color on for your finished project? It makes zero sense to me. So I made this paper as affordable as possible. So, for a pack of 20 sheets, it's only $12, and that's full-size sheets. So, y'all, this is your paper. And again, I was tired of having 17 papers in my craft room, so I wanted one paper. I'm the youngest of 6. You go by many names. Hey, Becky. I'm the youngest of 4, so I feel you, girl. So I wanted to make my paper affordable so that you are no longer trying to practice on a different paper than what you're coloring on. So instead of Express It, that is like, oh my gosh, like $1.25 a sheet, you're now paying way less for your paper. And that makes it way more affordable and way more usable. I also offer 100 sheet and half reams. And when you buy the half ream, you actually get 10 sheets for free. So, FYI, there's the spiel on the paper. I hope you guys liked my infomercial. There is a bit of a learning curve to the paper though, because it does react way differently. And the cool thing is you're going to save money on your ink because you can one coat color now, as opposed to trying to go back and do multiple coats of the same, like you do on Express It or Nina or any of those other papers. So please, for the love of God, do not use hammer mill paper to color on. Please. Number one, it sucks all of the ink out of your marker. Number two, it bleeds like crazy. And number three, it will damage the nibs. So you don't want to do any of those things because your markers are your investment. So why are you spending, $5, $6, $7, $8 per marker and then worried about spending 4 cents on a piece of paper? Like, please, people, do not use hammer mill to color on. It is not meant for alcohol markers. And you will damage the heck out of your markers. And that's not just hammer mill. There's other brands that do that as well. So yeah, there's that. So I'm just going around where I laid all of my shadows in and elongating that shadow. And blending out the other. Also, we all know my adage, Copic markers do not blend, they layer. So you're seeing that darker layer through the lighter layer. Notice I'm ending all of my brush strokes in uneven strokes so that when I do color, hey Tyler! So that when I do color with my next layer, it will blur those lines together and give you less of a straight line, which straight lines rarely happen in nature. So it will give the appearance of a much smoother blend. T4 is our next marker. Oops, not going to color with the chisel nib. That's for Skippy. I'm going to go around her eye. I'm going to come down here. Yes, you can send a wish list. I card with Sandy and Jammie with flowers. That is called Floral Friends. That stamp set is called Floral Friends. Yep, wish lists would definitely help her, especially as she is brand new to our brand. And I'm sure she would like to know what to carry in her store, what you guys are wanting. And it would definitely help her out to know, what's going to sell and what's important to you guys. If you want sweet pops, if you want paper, if you want the sequins, if you want the pear blossom press lights, all the different things. That way she knows what to carry and what's actually going to sell, as opposed to just buying stock and holding on to it, because that is not what any of us want to do, is to buy stock and then just sit on it. So, and then of course there's all the stamp sets from last year that are in our shop too. And so if you have some sort of special order that you really, really want a specific stamp set, like Six Pack Dad, or He Couldn't Breathe Underwater, or, any of the stuff that's from the last year, then I'm sure that Liette would like to know that too. That's all important stuff when you're a store owner. So, and we will figure out how to accommodate special orders for you guys and work together so that you get all the things that you want. Hammermill is great for card bases. It is not a coloring paper. So please, I'm sorry, Liette, I'm really sorry, but please do not color on Hammermill. You will absolutely ruin your Copic markers. It is not meant for coloring. It is not okay to color on. Please don't color on Hammermill. I know a lot of people do because it's really cheap. Oh yeah, it's great for foiling. Yep, I've heard that. I don't foil, so I don't know. But I know a lot of people are saying that Hammermill is amazing for foiling. It's also amazing for card base. Nice, thick, sturdy card bases. Yeah. I don't know. My train of thought left. Train derailed. Probably because I'm still not caught up on my sleep from being at Sandy's house. So number one, oh my gosh, you guys. Sandy stays up really late. Or should I say really early. Like she had me awake until like 2 a.m. almost every morning. And, hey, Leanne. Thank you. We all know that Jammie doesn't stay awake till 2 a.m. That is not a thing. So much so that I'm talking about myself in the third person. So there's that. But to have me up until 2 a.m. on most of the days that I was there is ludicrous. Absolutely insane in the membrane. Who's singing that song now? Who's singing it? Insane in the membrane. So I think that I'm still like trying to catch up on my sleep. Like I went into sleep famine mode and now my body thinks that whenever I have a moment, I need to sleep. And so I woke up at like 6 this morning and I was going to get up and start getting ready as I normally do and tell my kid goodbye and have a good day at school and, you know, all that stuff. And I went, I'll just lay here for a moment. And then I didn't become conscious again until like 7:30. And I was like, whoa, I better wake up. I better get my shower and get my day started. I have so much to do today. So, I'm just going to have to do that. And I was like, oh, but I don't want to get out of bed. It's so warm and it feels so good. And I just want to stay here forever. And then I became conscious at like 8:15 and I was like, oh crap. So I jumped out of bed, got ready, planned this live. Yeah. And here we are. So my brain isn't making a whole lot of sense to me yet. Just FYI, my brain is not doing some hot stuff right now. And then I have my T0. I know, isn't this hippo just adorable? She's so cute. She or he or whatever. Don't want to misgender our hippo. Notice I'm still using brush strokes because I don't want to hurt my nib and I don't want to ever just leave my brush on the paper and let it soak in because that will create bleeding and that's not what I want. Don't forget, guys, that this video, as soon as I'm done with it, will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. We're looking for lots more YouTube viewers so that we can change the name of our YouTube channel. So right now you have to search Jammie Clark, youtube.com, Jammie Clark. We want to change that to Sweet Sentiment, and you have to have a certain number of subscribers and viewing hours in order to change your YouTube name. So there's that. Okay, so now I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make this a girl hippo. She's gonna be a girl. So we're gonna add some pink into her ears. We're gonna paint her fingernails and toenails, and we're gonna put some eyeshadow on her. So I'm gonna start with a really soft pink color. I like RV34, and we're gonna have to soften that up even more. So I'm gonna go with RV52, and then I like RV00. So this is the 3 colors that I will be using. And I always post my Copic list on the YouTube video so you guys can see it. So I'm going to start with my RV34. I'm going to come from the bottom of her ears where that connects to her head and do brush strokes up towards the center of her ear. I'm going to do the same thing at the corners of her eyes. And then on her little fingernails. And her little toenails. Aww. Now I'm going to brush from the center down because I don't want to drag any of that dark pink out into my highlight. I want to keep that dark pink in the shadow. Over here, it's not as big of a deal because I'm coloring on top of the gray, so it doesn't matter quite as much, so I'm going to pull that out. You guys got awfully quiet on me. What's for dinner tonight? I want to know what's for dinner in all of you guys' houses. Do you guys plan dinner? I'm trying to figure out what to make for dinner. Can you tell? I need to make dinner for my boys, and I have no idea what to make. Good morning, Allison. We have big news. There is a shop run by Liette that will be carrying Sweet Sentiment products in Canada. Ooh, leftover stew? That sounds delicious. Is it beef stew? Is there any other kind? Just saying. I want some beef stew now. That sounds amazing. What are you making with your chicken thighs on the bone? I'm not a big fan of chicken thighs. I'm not going to lie. Not a fan. I'll do chicken wings. Hi, Marie. I didn't notice you come in here. It's your birthday? Aw, Janet, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. All right, our sweet little hippo Now, hippos usually have like yellowish teeth, and so I'm gonna kind of fake that a little bit with my E55. I'm gonna come in from the corners of her teeth. It's just from their diet and what they eat. Stuffed shells with Alfredo sauce. Oh my God, Mom, I'm coming over. Did you see that? My mom snuck in here and she's making stuffed shells with Alfredo sauce. That sounds amazing. I'm glad she lives really close. She fed my boys while I was away. She made them lasagna, and Dad made peach cobbler and all this good food while I was gone. It was crazy. I know who they really love. I know, right? And now the Sweet Sentiment products will be in Canada. Yay! Okay, so now I'm going to take my 0.3 Copic multiliner. And we're going to mark home the fact that this is a girl by adding some extra eyelashes. Look at her and her fancy eyelashes. So fancy. I also didn't get a super clean stamp on this, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in her nostrils so they're nice and solid. I don't know. I haven't seen her yet this morning. She might be sleeping still. Then I have my white gel pen, and I'm going to leave a little highlight on her eyes. I think I'm going to go this direction. And then I touch that with my finger so that it softens it a little bit, so it's not like a super stark white highlight. And I'm going to do the same thing in her nostrils. That one I'm going to leave super stark. On her forehead. Anywhere that the sun would hit. Okay. Just to add some little extra dimension. Thanks, Marie. Excuse me. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my die. I'm going to set it on top. And I'm going to grab, you guys, this is still that same frog tape. I'm using the exact same pieces of frog tape that I have been using for like a month now. Angela, you totally could. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to walk over to my die cutting machine. So talk amongst yourselves. Okay. I know, this tape is amazing. I absolutely love it. Frog tape. And I have the yellow kind because it's the low tack, so it doesn't hurt my paper. And then I just stick it on the edge of my rolly cart so I can keep using it. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. And get the rest of the pieces of my card. I have business card magnets back here that I just ordered off of Amazon. And that way I can stick my dies to it and we're good to go. So now what I'm gonna do, I love hymns. Except for this one's a hers, unless he's dressed in drag, which could also be a thing. So I think that this is gonna go down here. We're gonna do something like super Cass here. Cas means clean and simple, C-A-S, clean and simple. And case, C-A-S-E, means copy and share everything. So I'm going to grab some pink Distress Oxide inks. Pink ink. I'm going to do Spun Sugar, Kitsch Flamingo, and Picked Raspberry. Spun Sugar, Kitsch Flamingo, and let's see this preserves. Where's my raspberry? There it is. You guys, I have super good news. The Rabbit Hole Designs blender brushes are coming back. It is 2022, Angela. You are correct. So hopefully I will be able to get my hands on a bunch of them for you guys. Okay. So yes, Angela, I did. As a matter of fact. I'm going to radiate this out, I think. No, which way do I want to do? I think I'm going to do a gradient. We're going to ombre this bad boy. Okay. So I'm going to start with my spun sugar. And this is such a soft, light pink. You might not even be able to see it in the camera. Yes, I'm so excited. I already spoke to Marianne. Hopefully I will be able to get a bunch of them for you guys so that you can purchase straight from the store. Really excited about that. That was Marianne just calling me. Can somebody, well, let's see. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go to Kitsch Flamingo. Oh, I knew I was going to do that too. Here's why, because I'm doing it wrong. I usually always have a tissue in my hand, and I hold on to the paper with the tissue. But I was cutting corners because I'm live. See how much better that works? You always get a workout when you're doing oxide inks. Hello! I can't answer the phone because I'm live every day at this time. And we were just talking about you, so your ears must have been burning because we're all really excited that the brushes are coming back. It's all over. It's the talk of the interwebs. Okay, so then I like to go back down my gradient and kind of mix these together. And I'm not even putting any extra ink on here, just mixing them together. Okay. And see, this is why I use a tissue, because otherwise you leave a fingerprint. Not that I guess that it's all that big of a deal, because I'm about to spray it with water. But, you know. We're going all pink on this card. I wonder where Lee is. Thanks, Cheryl. I like to wipe off my board. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my Distress sprayer. And I like to short spray, meaning I don't like fully pull the trigger on this so that it leaves bigger spots. Okay, and I'm going to let that sit for just a minute and interact while I grab my mica spray. and shake it. You guys, I really love these Distress Mica sprays. The one that I've used the most is this one, the Empty Tomb. Yes, Leanne, in Canada. Oh, you use a Post-it note stuck to your fingers? That's a good idea. Okay, so then I take this little tissue that I have here, and I use it to blot the water. Cheryl, are you so excited? There will be Sweet Sentiment products in Canada. Yay! All right. So then I take this because my keyboard is like right here, literally, and I lay that over my keyboard so I don't overspray onto my keyboard. And just a couple of sprays. Isn't that cool? Super pretty. Lots of texture, lots of coolness happening there. Okay, so this has to dry for just a second. So while this dries, what I'm gonna do is grab some pink ribbon. You guys know my favorite ribbon caddy here. And I have pale pink or bright pink. What do you guys think? Pale pink or fuchsia? Thanks, Michelle. Pale pink or fuchsia to tie a bow with. This is my favorite type of ribbon. My mom gets it for me for Christmas, usually. She's always like, really? You want me to buy you a bunch of ribbon? And I'm like, yes, I want every color of this organza ribbon. And so I'm working on every color. But the problem is I use it so fast that I can never catch up. And she laughs at me because she's always like, why do you get so excited over ribbon? I'm like, it's my favorite ribbon. I use it all the time. And now she finally sees how often I really do use it. What type is it? It's just organza ribbon. It's like this super from Hobby Lobby. It's like not expensive ribbon or anything. So we're going to use the pale pink because that's what Janet says. And this is, we're gonna tie a bow. Are you guys ready? So I pinch this between my first two fingers. Well, not my first two, my pointer and my middle finger. Then we do a 2 figure-8s. 1, 2. Okay, so my tail, let me do that again. My tail is down here. 1, 2. Okay, so then I have a tail back here. Cut this long enough so that you have enough to work with. Put it between the V of your fingers. Come around, and you want to go in here. Okay? That's why I say cut the tail long enough. And pull it tight. Okay? Now, however far apart your fingers are, that's how big the loops on your bow will be. So if you want your bow smaller, put your fingers closer together. If you want them bigger, then obviously put your fingers further apart. You have to wrestle the bow a little bit. Linda Lou says fuchsia. I'm sorry, Linda Lou. And then I'm going to cut the tails. I like to cut them on an angle. It's just something I've always done, I think, because it's something I've always seen my mom do. And so there is my double loop bow. Put my ribbon away. That's why you always have big bows, because Tyler has very big fingers, big hands. Okay, so now this is dry. So what I'm going to do is grab my Barely Arts glue. Favorite glue ever in the whole world. Yeah, Janet, I do that tutorial on like every video, and everybody's always blown away by it. So, I like big bows and I cannot lie. Oh, Michelle, you're so my people. I adore you. Okay. Yet, here is another product that you're going to need for sure. I'm going to show you in just a minute. I know that Cheryl and Janet will want one for sure. So this is the Sweet Sentiment Espresso. And you use this like this. You can use it in place of your bone folder. You can use it to smooth out your projects. If you're a scrapbooker, you can use it on pictures so that you're not leaving fingerprints on anybody's forehead. It's always nice. Okay. My sentiment strip is just a tiny bit too long. Ooh, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'll show you. I gotta reach my scissors that are way over there. It's Peter Pan and Tink. It's the only Misty tool you can use. Yay! So you can use this in place of a bone folder for creasing all of your paper. It won't scar your paper. You can use it for stamping on your Misty so you get nice even stamp pressure. Makes for nice even impressions. You can use it to smooth out the glue on your paper and stuff so that it's you don't have glue bubbles. Really, really multifunctional tool. Super amazing. Okay, so we're going to cut this into a little banner. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little snip right down the middle. And then I'm going to go from the corner to that snip. Okay? And I'm going to cut out the tails of the banner. Just like that. Angela, that's my friend now, named Michaela. And it's just Nails by Michaela. You can find her on Instagram. She is amazing. She does all the Disney characters on my nails. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my card base. I forgot to grab one. So sometimes when I'm not doing a whole lot in my life. No, she does not like snakes. That's why she's my friend. When I'm really bored in my life, I buy a whole ream of paper and I cut it and I make card bases. So I cut and score and fold all of my card bases like at the same time so that I have a couple hundred card bases. And then when I get down to like almost nothing, I do the same thing again. So if you're interested in doing that, that is how I achieve having 1,000,000 card bases already ready. Grab my espresso. No snakes. Angela, I always have to be doing something. Idle hands are not my thing. So I am always doing something. Ask my mom, she's here. I just can't sit still. I don't think I ever have. Michaela! This is the girl that does my nails, guys. This is who I was just talking about. So she must have heard her ears burning. They're all talking about my nails, Michaela, and your amazing talent. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Now, if you're really persnippety like me, you pull out your T-square so that this is nice and square with your card. Okay. Oops. And then again, your ears were totes burning. Yeah, Michaela does amazing things with my nails. It's so cute. I think these are my favorite ones ever. It's Tink and Peter. I mean, how do you not love that? Look at those. And then we tried the almond shape this time. And I mean, don't they look great in video? That's what's important here. They look amazing in video. Okay, so now I'm going to grab some Sweet Pops. And of course, we're going to pop up this little hippo. This little meditating hippo. I always challenge her with different Disney characters. I'm always like, we're going to do this Disney character this time and this Disney character. So I get Disney nails all the time, and she gets a challenge all the time. It's not Wendy. She keeps calling Tink Wendy. It's not Wendy, it's Tink. Every time you call Tink Wendy, a pixie loses her wings. Okay, so I'm going to sit her right on top of that little banner. Just like that. And now I have to decide, do I want the tree or do I want the starburst? What do you guys think? You're so sorry. I'm so sorry. What do we want? The tree or the starburst? The starburst? Okay, everybody's saying the starburst. I agree with that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue. Did I turn my hot glue gun on? Or was it off? Or is it not even plugged in? I've been waiting this whole time, and it's not even plugged in. Did you see that? My hot glue gun does not take very long to heat up because it is a sure bonder. Everybody says starburst except for Tyler. I know you like snakes, but I forgive you because you're weird. You're my favorite kind of weird. Marianne likes all creatures, though, so it's not just snakes. It's all creatures that she likes. So I'm going to use a Sweet Pop instead. It went flying. It is cordless, but it still has to be, the base is plugged in. I know, I did make a gecko stamp set for you weirdies. It's okay, Sweet Pop, save the day. And then we're going to put this big old bow on it, which I think is adorable. And it says, thank you from the bottom of my heart. How cute is that? I'm going to manipulate my bow just a little bit so it's not quite so large. Spiders are okay. Thanks, Janet. Adorkable. Put the bow in her hair. I want it on the loop of this because there's a little loop on that charm. And I don't want the loop to be sitting there, so. See how fast that heats up? Already. And there we go. There's our little card. Isn't that cute? I love it. So thank you guys for joining me today. I still I still haven't put a thank you sentiment on my gecko from yesterday, but that's okay. I'm catching up on shipping and all of that stuff, so everything should be shipped out today. So if you're waiting on an order or anything like that, it should all be shipped out today. And then I'm going to work with Liette on her order. And then I'm also going to be working with Jude on her order. So there will be new stamp sets both in Canada and in the UK. I know everybody loves pink, so that's why I went with full-on pink for all of you guys. So this is part of our new release. Actually, both of these are. And this is called Rule Your Mind. And this one's called Gecko Act Together. And thank you guys. I really appreciate you joining me. I will see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat place, right? 9 o'clock. And then I will go and put this video on YouTube as well. If you are not a subscriber of YouTube, please subscribe. That would be amazing. Again, if you need to find us on YouTube, you just YouTube Jammie Clark, and that's Jammie. And I'm going to refill my coffee, get some breakfast, and get back to work. So again, thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. Toodles!